Hi everybody, it's Julie Ebersol for EllenHutson.com. Ellen and I are just back from the CHA Mega Conference and Trade Show. This is the largest trade show in the world to the craft and hobby industry, and many of the manufacturers are presenting their newest products for 2016. And we saw so many awesome things, but Ellen and I wanted to compile some of our favorite finds. And our first stop was at Kudetake Zig, where we found these gorgeous Gansai Tambi metallic paints that are like watercolor, but they work very opaque on black cardstock. Just stunning, beautiful metallic opacity. And then new to us was something called Buddha paper, which enables folks who are learning how to do brush lettering or sumi painting to practice with water, and they can reuse the paper over and over again. I have a little clip here that shows you exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of magical.
So nice.
That's cool. That's
Look,
cool.
it's already fading.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're
So cool, right? You're just practicing with water. Now, next up, we have Daniel Smith's Prima Tech watercolors. These are mineral based. The colors are amazing. They are absolutely breathtaking. The richness of the hues, the vibrancy, and some of them even have a built-in shimmer to them. And if you are a true watercolor enthusiast, you are going to absolutely enjoy working with these fine art watercolors. New from Ranger are these distress crayons that come in 16 colors. They come in 3 different assortment packs right now, and they work with both dry and wet techniques. So it's kind of a lipstick-like texture. You can color with it on all sorts of paper surfaces, and you can blend it out with your finger. But in either case, if you spritz it with water, it will not be water reactive at that point until you actually push the color around after you've spritzed some water on it. And I have a little video clip here by Tim Holtz that explains a little bit more the unique properties of these crayons.
Any sort of media piece, we can go in with distress ink, stain, or spray stain. Anything that's going to be a translucent ink, and we can apply that over the top of this. And we apply that over the top of this, we do not have to worry about any of those mediums re-wetting this medium. I know, even though, so right away you're like, what? Yeah, it's playing nice with these resins. More importantly, if I wanted to have that true resist, I could spray this with water, and it's not going to react that color. Instead, it's going to move my distress away from that crayon. Okay? But you're like, but they're water reactive. They are water reactive to a point. I didn't want them to be completely fugitive like you're used to seeing distress do, because one of the features we know about distress ink, that when you wet distress ink, what does it do? As soon as it gets wet, it goes everywhere. So if I take the crayon and I wet it, it doesn't do anything. But you're like, but it's water reactive. Well, it is water reactive. You can move it, you touch it. So it gives you total control when you're doing mixed media work, that if you were doing something and it got wet, you don't have to worry about it going everywhere the way distress does. Only if you decide to go in and pull that medium in.
I can already see the wheels turning in your head on that one. Now, next up, we have some Collage Mediums, also by Ranger. One has an instant dry time, like immediately you can proceed to your next step. Tim says it has a dry time of now. And then there's a version that has a tint to it. It's kind of an antique-y tint to it. And the one that really got us excited was the crazing medium, because it creates this finish that's a super fine crackle, like a very delicate porcelain crazing that you see on vintage porcelain teacups and such. It doesn't have a texture on top, but you get that crackle underneath the surface. Just beautiful and delicate. iCraft have released more in their Deco foil product line, including these peel and stick toner sheets. So if you don't have a laser printer, you can still die cut and punch or hand cut designs out of this toner paper and then send it through with your foil applied over the top, and then it's already got adhesive on the back, so you just remove the liner paper and stick it to your project. They also released new colors of foil, including copper, which we're particularly excited about because it's so on trend for 2016. And another absolutely awesome product by iCraft is the Deco foil adhesive pen. You can write with it, you can draw with it, and then apply the transfer foil over the top. But instead of sending it through a laminating laminator or a Mink, you do not need a special machine. You can sandwich it in some parchment paper and send it right through your Big Shot, and the pressure from the pads on your Big Shot will fuse that foil to the adhesive pen. Awesome! Heidi Swapp also had some fun new products for the Mink line, including reactive paint and reactive mist that you can spritz on and apply foil to, and they'll react with the heat on the Mink machine, as well as the art screen ink, which is for use with the beautiful mini art screen stencils that they have. And it's kind of like silk screening with foil. It's such a beautiful effect, and I have a little clip here showing how the art screens can be used.
I can tell what you're doing.
Take some medicine real quick.
Oh, that was fast. Okay, so we bring this through. And you can see how the ink is kind of just falling into the grooves of the design. You only need a small amount of ink to go through there, and that pulls right up. And you can see there your design. We'll use some of the new ombre foil. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
So now this just goes right in the machine like this. So now we have this.
And that finishes it off really nice, having the foil.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
Oh,
So then there you go.
Yeah.
Look at how good that looks.
I know.
So then you can see that's now foiled in the ombre.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, we're stuck. There we go. And then look at that. See, you've got the pink on top and the gold on bottom. And then you.
I have a little detail shot here that shows you a close-up of the gorgeous effect of those ombre foils. Okay, you're going to laugh when I say this, but I think we must be descended from magpies because our obsession with foil continues, and we're just drawn to those bright, shiny things. And when we walked into the Prima marketing booth, our breath was taken away by these absolutely stunning adhesive designs by Christine Adolph that just so beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. They could be used on paper surfaces, they can be used on wood surfaces, glass surfaces, canvases, and even your clay pots that you have your houseplants in. So we just thought that was amazing, and the artwork there, the samples were stunning. Now, with all the many coloring books that are out there on the market, we were really surprised and very excited to see that Prima Marketing had released a watercolor coloring book, and the designs are printed on watercolor paper, and you can actually frame them because they're large enough for wall art. So that was really awesome to find. Well done, Prima Marketing. Now, you may have heard of or already own the original Misti, which is the most ingenious stamping tool invented by My Sweet Petunia. But guess what? They just came out with another ingenious tool. It is a mini version for card makers. And you can see here the mini is nested inside the original size. It also has the grid pattern laser etched on the front of it. I can't wait to get my hands on it because I love this tool. And I have a little video clip showing it in action.
Right where I want it. Yes. Line it up. Best I think. Then I can go like this, and because this has a grid on it, sure, I can see if it's not quite. If it's not quite. Right. Now we do have grid paper that comes with it, so you can practice stamp on a grid paper if you want to. So I can take this off completely. Right. Stamp on my grid paper. So see if it's like right where you want it. See if it's I see. Right where I want it. So I've let it dry for a little bit, and so the great thing is I can take this and I can set it right on here. And I don't have any distortion, so I can set it right back on there. I can add a little bit of shadow to one side, put it right on there, and she comes out perfectly. So it's, and is wow. That two steps? Yes, and what's really
Another line that will be new for us in 2016 is Pink Fresh Studio, and it is just a fresh, fun line of stamps and papers, and we love their embellishments. They have these awesome acetate die-cut words that come in super pretty colors. They've got wood veneers that have been painted and watercolor background stickers with sentiments on them. The quality is outstanding. We're just super excited to be bringing them in because they're so fresh and fun. We don't know anybody that doesn't enjoy making or receiving an interactive card, and I tell you, Art Impressions absolutely nailed it with these stamps and coordinating dies to create these really fun interactive designs. The one on the upper left is called a trifold, and as you open each panel of the card, it gets smaller and smaller. The one on the upper right has an action wobbler so that the fairy's little skirt is going to shake and wobble when you spring it with your finger. There's also a suspension card that spins. So here you can see the little kitty who's jumping up to catch the ball of yarn, and he will spin around. You just have to flick him with your finger. And then they also have a slider that with a little window there, and you've got the little ducky there peeking through the window. I have some video clips that show a couple of these in action.
That is really adorable.
Now, if you're on a quest like we are for the perfect white pen, Diane Reevely has actually released a twin pack of a black and white paint pen through Ranger. This is different from gel pens. It has a pump action that actually wicks down the paint into the nib, and it doesn't skip, and it has really wonderful opacity on dark papers like this right here. And she says it does take a little bit of time to dry, just like any paint. You do have to allow some dry time, but wow, it looks really gorgeous on this. And I'll let her explain a little bit more here in this video clip.
That if they bang it, they're going to split it. I've done a video telling them all that, but it is just, and this was on the aeroplane, and there's no skipping, there's no, so yeah, it's the best.
We were really happy to see a brand new trimmer from Fiskars that has a replacement for the guide wire. They've actually put in an aluminum bar that guides the blades, and the blades will not splay or move around because there's no flexibility in this aluminum guide bar. And the blades actually snap on and they will not fall off if you flip that thing over. So, and it also cuts through 2 layers of cardstock at one time. You can get super, super skinny slivers of cardstock and very straight, crisp, even cuts. So awesome by Fiskars. These were just a few of our favorite finds at CHA for 2016. These products and many more will be coming soon to ellenhutson.com. We hope you've enjoyed this preview, and thanks for watching.